Howdy, I'm the Chinese Zodiac Killer, infiltrating your collective reality, again, whether you like it or not. This is another account of an interaction between myself and a non-human entity. As remarked many times, I've been a student of the occult since 1995. In 2020, I experienced illumination and ascension and underwent an extreme paradigm shift. Immediately following this life-changing event, my perceivable reality went absolutely haywire. I began to have encounters with non-human entities as discussed in some of my other videos on here. During this period, one day I was walking down my back country road and practicing my gazing ability. In short, I'm able to gaze for long periods of time, even in the wind and weather, without blinking, which you'll notice I am often doing as I record my videos, for example. Check this for yourself. Watch my videos on here and try to catch me blinking. When I'm gazing during walks, for example, I am in deep meditation and I very carefully scrutinize my observable reality for any anomalies that I might otherwise miss, such as difficult to see non-human entities, which is exactly what happened in this time. I was walking, gazing upwards into the clouds, when suddenly I caught the barely noticeable outline of a gigantic human-shaped being that was almost completely invisible. To see it was almost as though I was looking through reality into another dimensional space. It was practically directly above me, towering over me. It seemed as though it was floating in the air. I clearly saw it, although only an outline. The best way to describe it is to compare it to the Predator from the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, when the Predator is bending light and invisible. That is a very accurate analogy. And it clearly noticed me being aware of it. I saw it begin towering down from above me as though to bridge the gap of space between us. And then I distinctly saw it open its hand, reaching down for me. It was very difficult to see as it moved, but I could tell it was reaching down as though it was going to grab me. What happened next is one of the most regrettable experiences of my life. It was so alarming as it reached down to me with its giant hand that I suddenly lost my nerve, and as though it sensed this, it suddenly stopped its hand just above my head and then retracted it and then just moved back up somewhere in the sky above me, and I lost sight of it. I've hated myself ever since for losing my nerve and the opportunity to make contact with whatever it was. I've since walked the road many times again, gazing and meditating and calling out to it, but I never saw it again. Just as with both the non-human entity on the island that I made physical contact with shortly after this in 2020, and with my encounter with the shadow person in 2010, both of which are discussed on my channel here. Nothing would thrill me so much as to experience contact with a non-human entity again. Nearly 4 years have passed and I haven't had any experiences since, other than scrying with my non-human guide, which is something completely different. I am convinced at this point that these non-human entities are around us at any given time, but we don't see them because our perception is locked within the parameters of our three-dimensional reality. When a person is able to extend their perception beyond three-dimensional reality and look deeper, incredible experiences are possible. This is perhaps likened to using astral sight. It is not just a matter of working on this, I find, but also the distractions we continually deal with blind us to opportunities. Every minute spent scrolling on a cell phone or watching television distract us from expanding our consciousness, as does focus on a day job and other daily affairs. Meditation and gazing are key components to altering one's perception. That being said, I'm convinced that once a person is able to regularly perceive such beings, they should be able to point them out to other people. Once this is done, and happens more and more frequently, our collective consciousness should change, and interactions with non-human entities should become universal as they seemingly repopulate our collective reality, as was in biblical times. This is my objective. That is a discussion for another time, but like, follow, and share. And if you're interested in discovering my documented experiences with magic, mysticism, and non-human entities, check out the book I self-published on Amazon Books under my pen name, A. Crowley, entitled Necronomicon MMXX, or spoken as Necronomicon 2020. Necronomicon 2020 will alter your consciousness and increase the probability of your experiencing contact with non-human entities. Get yourself a copy. Join us.